So I've decided to do a little review of this Dromida KODO quadcopter. It's kind of a micro quadcopter. Um, Basically, I'll show you kind of what it comes with by showing you the picture on the back of the box. I'll show you more later, but you get the quadcopter and you get the transmitter, you get the flight battery charger, batteries for the transmitter, a 2 gigabyte micro SD memory card, and a little reader that plugs into USB. Oh, and by the way, the battery charger for the flight battery plugs into USB also. And then you also get optional propeller guards and a spare set of propellers. So that's what comes with it. Essentially, I bought this because I built a pretty sophisticated hexcopter. And even though I've been flying RC planes for 25 plus years, I wanted to get some stick time on one of these quads so that I'd just be familiar with and comfortable with flying the hex, since it's quite a bit more of an investment. The Dromida here I picked up at Hobbytown, USA for, I think they run about $60 ready to fly. They had some refurbs in stock that were going for $40, so that's what I paid for this one. So essentially, that's it. I've got it out here. I've flown it a little bit, and I thought I would just do a little flight review and a demonstration flight for you. There's the quadcopter compared to the size of my hand. And here's the flight battery. And here's the transmitter. The transmitter is kind of interesting because it's set up symmetrically top to bottom so it can be flipped over. And there's a switch on the top for mode 2 and mode 1. I use mode 2 with the throttle on the left side. You can flip this to into mode 1 position and then use the throttle on the right side. So there you have that. I go mode 2, that's what I fly in. Now other buttons on here, there's a video start and stop button. There's a photo button to take pictures. All of the controls have trims. I'm not sure why they put one for the throttle control because you don't really need it. But the other 3 axes have controls as well, and there is also a power switch that turns it on. So that's the first thing you do is turn the power switch on the transmitter. Now my helper will take the camera while I demonstrate some more. So one of the things that's extremely important is after you put the battery, load the battery into the little slot here. Oh, and one more thing is the memory card for the photography is right here. It's in a little slot right below the battery slot. One thing that's not necessarily very clear in the directions, but it's very important, is that you place the craft on a flat surface when you install the battery. In fact, I'll demonstrate this without having it flat. If you plug it in, and then there's a safety process you go through. You take the throttle up, get a beep, takes the throttle down. Now it's armed. Now, since I put the battery in when it wasn't level, it's not gonna fly right because the gyro initialized. Well, actually, it is flying right, kind of. Oh, let's see, it's kicking way out to the right, and it's not flying right. So that was a good demonstration. So what I'll do is rearm it by unplugging the battery, setting it flat, relatively flat. I'm going to go ahead and cycle power on the transmitter too, just to be sure. And then plugging the battery in with it flat, maybe. And then going high throttle, low throttle. It's ready to go now, and it should fly properly. And there it goes. Now, first thing I usually do after I fly it is do a little bit of trimming, because right now I'm having to hold a lot of forward and a lot of right. So I'm going to trim right first. That's better on the right. Now a little forward. The trimming is a challenge because the buttons are kind of requires you to take your hand off of something, and really you can't for very long because you gotta run the throttle. Okay, we're getting close. Alright, that's hands off right there. So it's pretty close. So now I'm going to go ahead and arm the video. So there's a little light on the bottom. There's a blue light and a red light, and the red light's flashing now, so to show me that the video is actually recording. So there we go, it's flying around. Now, a couple things I didn't tell you. One is there's a rate switch on the transmitter. If you push down on the left stick, you'll hear a beep. It's 2 beeps. Now it's in the rate 2 mode, which means it's a little more agile. You see, I can lean it a little more, and if I hit it again, 3 beeps, even more agile. And then hit it again, it goes back to 1, and that's as much as it'll lean. On the right stick, if you push the button down, that's flip mode. So you push the right stick, it arms the flip mode, and then whichever way you move the stick causes it to flip that direction. But it's really easy to fly. Like I say, right there is hands off. I'm not doing anything. I'm just basically keeping it from drifting into walls and stuff, but it's flying by itself. The yaw and the tilt and roll axes are very stable. The throttle or the power axis isn't so much. So you really have to spend most of your time flying it and keeping it at the altitude you want. But another thing that's kind of cool, I've seen the guys at the store do, is they'll just throw the thing up and take off like that. But it goes pretty much right where you tell it. You can fly it around just like a little micro helicopter. It's got beams up here at the top of my ceiling, and get it up over the fan here. I can use this fly when I do. I did it. Now that flashing lights means the voltage is getting low. So I'll show you one little landing here, and then bring it home. So you get about, around 4 minutes of flight time per an hour-long charge, which isn't too bad. I wish it did come with an extra battery or 2, but it doesn't. So that's the Dromida KODO micro quad. It's kind of fun. Go get one.